Alright, welcome. High five, bro. Ready to go. I'm just hoping I say that enough that I will be ready to go.
Feeling less than ready?
I'm feeling a little less than ready. I'm feeling a little tired. But
I too have been hit with the sleepies.
it's been a rough bit of time.
Every strong is rough.
It's not true. No, every strong is not rough. Some rough, some aren't. This one is.
Rough in a good way or a bad way?
Rough in a good way, I guess.
Like chunky peanut butter instead of smooth.
Alrighty.
My preference.
So, this is part 10 of our DLA Reversul Uf Fortunes series. Tired of this series, too. Tired of this series.
We're almost done. Only 3 more, including this one.
Including this one, 3 more. So, we started to talk about our relationship with our creator, our relationship with that which made us last time. And I personally feel like I like to PR situations and focus on things that make me look good, or like I'm done with a thing and don't have things to learn, especially when I'm like knowing something's going to be out to the public or in public, whatever. So a lot of times I do not say the vulnerable real truth that might look bad. I've talked about this before, I think, but then I just keep going back and doing it. And I think that that was kind of how I approached this topic, kind of being like, yeah, I'm so connected to, like, I love my creator and I have faith, and it's hard sometimes, but, and what I think I need to balance that with now is just a little recap, a little update, a little check-in with some more real feelings about Yahuwah and my relationship with Yahuwah, which is probably that I have like a crisis of faith, probably every strong, almost every day sometimes. I'm constantly mad and resentful at my creator because my daddy issues and him being the ultimate daddy of the world. That's a weird way to say that. But you know, he's like the father. And so me, who has a contentious relationship with masculinity and my own father, I feel like it's just those elements are even here present in this relationship, where I kind of like hate Yahuwah a lot of the times for delivering truth, because I kind of hate truth as a recovering witch, and I kind of hate growth as a human who like has Hasatan really on lock in my speed dial to who I want to go and believe to when things are hard, and not grow and like avoid the thing that's the growth moment, whereas Yahuwah is always there. Like I was talking to Yona here about like the Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel with the finger all the way extended of I guess that was Gad or God in that picture, and
was it?
Man, I don't know, man with the half extended figure showing that he's always there all the way, but you have to like extend your finger out to touch it. But I feel like that's like all the time I don't want to extend my finger out and go through the growth thing or accepting the delivery from my creator without resentment or anger or lack of faith or doubt. And instead I want to go to Hasatan and be like, yeah, I'm the victim here. Everything and everyone else sucks, and I don't have faith.
We had a zoomed in like photo of just the fingers in my house, as well as like one of the full thing, and
wow.
Then we had a zoom in one of just the fingers.
For atheist household, you sure had more religious iconography than my household did.
You guys were the fucking gaytheists.
Yeah, I guess so.
We were atheists who believed in something. It's called the novel.
Excuse me, my family believed in something, which was concerts and granola and hardwood floors restorations. Okay, not nothing. Anyways, that's like I'm just trying to be a little more real about my actual day-to-day relationship with my creator and how it is, which is a lot of times pretty annoyingly like lacking in what I don't know, in how much I want to believe any given day when it's hard versus how easy it is to believe when things are not difficult, or when the thing that made me grow made sense because it's over and I like have my perspective about the past or whatever. Yeah. So the pattern always is more available to me to see from having some distance from it, and it's more easy for me to like say that everything's hunky-dory and like pray and have a great time, and then as soon as it's back in the shits, like the cycle of growth, then it's like curse my creator for like not being there or not giving me the thing I need right now. So I don't even exactly remember everything I said last video, but I think that kind of covers my little check-in with that I wanted to do. What about you?
I mean, I think I was pretty, I don't know. Do you think I held things back on the last episode?
I think like you hold back things on every episode. I think there's always more you could push to do and more you could say.
I guess I was talking last episode about like not feeling like I really have an understanding of kind of like the relationship with Yahuwah that she talks about, and it's kind of more of just like a nebulous thing that is not as specific, I guess. And that I just kind of go through the actions. And it might just be like me just, you know, faking it till I make it. And we'll see how well that works. If it's working now, sound off in the comments. I don't know. I'm not having a particularly like boosted time right now. I'm a little bit tired. I'm trying to like think of what to say in this moment.
Why are you not having a boosted time?
I'm tired right now. Just moving things over from kind of like charity being like the thing that I'm reaching out for all the time as like a way to make sure that I can hit my wash quotas, and now I'm like moving it over to like legitimately talking to people about soul redemption and washing, and it's going fine. So I mean, sort of. It's going very slowly, and it takes a lot more energy, and there's a lot more uncertainty, and it's making me feel tired at 1500 in the day, like already. And we've been like these last couple days have just been challenging in terms of like interpersonally, and I'm just tired.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make me feel like I have very much insightful knowledge to say about the creator or anything. I'm drawing a blank.
I don't think anyone said you had to have insightful knowledge.
I think it's assumed that I'm supposed to have insightful knowledge about these things. I don't know. I just don't understand why someone would tune into a podcast not to get any insightful knowledge.
I think there's plenty of reasons to tune in to a podcast.
This is not a podcast.
It's not a podcast. I think you're putting a bunch of pressure and like crazy ideas of what you're supposed to do on this thing, like that everyone's here for your amazing philosophical ponderings, when honestly
I did speak to a young philosopher today.
Yeah, maybe he rubbed off on you a little bit.
When
so literally
annoying.
All that like I ever tell you about like content when you're like out there in public talking is that please just be vulnerably honest, be not trying to save face by like doing what you think others, I don't know, like think others want from you as a way to kind of cop out and like phone it in, or like think you have to sound smart or whatever. It's just, and I struggle with this too. It's like just being actually honest and showing the vulnerability of telling the truth, where you stand, what's going on. I mean, we do make like outlines for our live series, so we're scripted in that way. Like, we come up with stuff beforehand that we're going to talk about, but you can talk about all that stuff with your whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't like think about the creator as like this like person, not a person, obviously, like this.
Is he a cube with like 7 arms and rays of light? And
I don't
like
believe in it like that. I just think it's like, I don't know.
You're kind of talking as if like in a defensive mode. Like, I'm gonna come and be like,
I
that's
think
wrong.
I think you are gonna come and say that.
Have I? Have I literally?
I don't know. Not you specifically, but it definitely is not the views of this army.
Excuse me, I don't think you even ask enough questions ever to know that. Have you ever asked anyone in this army?
I have.
What have you asked them? You didn't let me finish. Have you ever
Have I ever asked them something? I have asked the question once.
Great,
before.
we've got that established.
This is back
He
in
asked one and he's
2022,
done.
old time.
I was gonna ask, have you ever asked anyone in this army if your conception of the creator is wrong, or what their conception of the creator is?
Yeah, I mean, not in those exact terms, but I described what my conception was, and I was told that it was wrong.
When? By who?
I don't want to talk. If you want to,
I just don't believe
I'm not
you.
trying to name names.
I don't believe that someone in this army told you that your conception of the creator was wrong.
Okay.
Because you said it was. What did you say it was?
I don't. Yeah, this seems like it's a recipe for disaster going down this road. I'm not trying to do heresy or hearsay or anything like that.
My point is that you very rarely ask questions or talk about these things that you like create narratives in your mind about. So like, your narrative in this live or this video is now like, I have nothing to say and everything I have to say is wrong. So like, how do you think it feels for me to like try and interact and have a conversation, or like do this with someone coming from that?
Probably terribly.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great. It feels like I'm dragging you along and that like we're walking on eggshells or something. What?
I'm trying to I don't even remember what I really went into last time. I'm trying to like come at it fresh. And I'm just, maybe my mood is just wrong. I don't know what to say. Maybe that needs to be fixed above all else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having kind of like a meta feedback loop right now about the live, and just, just having a little bit of a meta feedback loop.
Okay, well, have your meta feedback loop.
Okay.
Maybe get through it.
I'm having it. And
okay.
We're getting through it.
Spiraling. You made me think of one thing, which was thinking of your creator as a man. I feel like I've never really thought about what he actually is or looks like or anything like that. More just like, as a human, I'm gonna like think of my creator as a human in my head. I don't know.
Well, because it says that we were created in his image, right? In the Bible.
Yeah. But I get wonky about the Bible too. Like, how much of this is crazy holographic, like, layers of symbolism versus literal, and I'm not,
You're not an expert?
I'm no expert. anyways, the whole thing about the creator and talking about this is like this idea of the like language of fortunes and reversals of fortunes and fortune, whatever. It's like a very biblical word. It's very much present in the scriptures. It's very much like an idea that's connected to those stories, and so that's, I guess, what originally brought this up last episode, I guess. And I think the thing that I was going to talk about, or like connect to maybe our feelings, I guess it's my feelings, because I don't know what your feelings are about this, of when I'm having like a bad time and my faith is low. I'm really quick to doubt in my creator, be angry at my creator, thinking that I know better and wanting things that are different, and because I'm not getting them or the things that I think I need, I'm like angry at him. And that I'm even doubtful of his power or authority or creations when the things in my small but important life are not happening how I think they should. And what's crazy is that like I can look back and notice all the times I felt that way when the shit was in the shit, and I can see how if I had gotten the thing I thought I wanted at that point, it could have been crazy, or I found a thing that was better and something I couldn't have even imagined that was delivered to me. So it's crazy to have those perspectives from the past, but then still get in this cycle when you're in it and it's low, to be like, no, I believe only this moment right now, and I have lost all faith that nothing's going to work out. And I feel that kind of is ATM's culture within DLA. What would you say about that? Would you agree, disagree?
About being abandoned by you?
That overall, like, that attitude that I just described as being, like, kind of where ATM tends to be about our relationship there.
Shaking our fist at the sky, so to speak. Yeah, I suppose so. I think that I tend to just blame people who are closer to me than blaming the creator. But that's probably because I don't put it enough in his hands, or think that it's like his show. And I think probably my less mature approach, or I don't know which is more mature than, but probably just the more immediate approach, because of my brainwashing specifically, would be to blame those around me, you know?
Yeah.
More than like, what am I saying? More than, the people. More than, like, Yahuwah. Because to me, it's just like, I just go closer, more local, more personal. Should be taking it more professional.
Is your relationship with you strictly professional?
Yeah, it is. I'm just doing my job.
But, like, think of maybe more subconsciously, like, in the macro of, like, your life, and if it's quote-unquote working or not, or, like, if your path is something you want or not. That's harder to take personal, because it's kind of, like, too...
I just blame myself. I don't know. I am very I keep it very close.
That's interesting words, keeping it close.
Yeah, like I keep it close to...
It implies you think of, like, farther distance.
Yeah.
In that relationship with you.
I do. Well, I kind of keep the blame either to myself or those immediately around me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me even to blame like people who I don't see every day or interact with every day, or blame Joe Biden or my father.
Do you feel like you interact with your creator every day or not?
I think I do, but I just not in the same way. Or maybe I don't know what way, but I just feel like I just do the thing. I just don't feel like there's I don't know. I don't really feel like there's a back and forth.
Between you and your creator?
No.
And is that
not that I'm doing all the work or anything.
Well, that's interesting, because like not a back and forth definitely is a matter of perspective, right? Like, how do you think your creator communicates?
I just don't know. That's the thing. This isn't something that I have any more clarity on than anyone else. And that's where I feel uncomfortable talking about it. Or maybe I even have less clarity than most people.
Mm-hmm. So like,
I do the things and I do my prayers, and when I talk to people, I talk about the creator and that it's all from the creator and blah 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 and blah blah blah, but I just don't know how to, like, if you want me to talk about it, there's
well, it seems like it's an uncomfortable subject for you.
Supposedly it is. I suppose so.
And I think that, so if our creator is communicating to us daily, but we don't see it or recognize it, that could feel like no communication at all.
Yeah, and I suppose it's like all through symbols. Some people get a direct calm, I hear, or they get it through
word on the street.
They get it through Yahusha, or they have their own channels to get there. But I don't really have like the Yahusha channel, and I sort of get like symbols, but I always feel like I'm just trying to like make something out of, I'm like...
No, I feel it in you, and this is interesting that it's being brought up. Like, you have a going with the thing to go through the motions kind of thing, but it's not hard to tell in your tone that, like, oh, this is bullshit, like, this is a symbol that is just like crazy people making something out of nothing, kind of like Dr. Disrespect is getting canceled twice in the same ways that connect to my story exactly in this moment or whatever, but
how
that's
were
just
the ways that were connected to
I don't even know. I'm literally just like saying an example that doesn't even connect to reality. I'm just saying, like, when something like that happens, you're not like, I feel like you have a bit of the pessimist doubter in you that's like, in your attitude, even if you're going through the motions of the thing, your attitude is like, this is like a crazy person would make this up and make it a like symbol that means something.
That's saying that I'm putting a lot of blame on others, not like my own relationship with what I'm going through.
Well, that's how I'm feeling it, but it could be totally different. It could be totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
You're literally like...
I'm uncomfortable.
Why? Talk about it.
Huh?
Like, talk about it.
I don't know. I don't know what the whole Dr. Disrespect thing is. It's like, oh, there's like a person that I followed for a while and he's getting canceled. That's not like insignificant, but like, do I feel like the creator like got Dr. Disrespect canceled because of anything to do with me? That doesn't make sense. Why would that happen? Because isn't Dr. Disrespect having his own relationship with the creator?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
And I wasn't saying anything really. I'm just trying to give the latest example of me saying, like, there's a symbol out there.
I understand. If I can understand more that Yahuwah talks through symbols, I'm not going to say there's no point in my life where I like feel something happening. I guess. it's not in my vocabulary to talk about it. I don't really feel like I really know what's going on with it, so I feel uncomfortable talking about it. So that's probably where the discomfort is coming from.
Who do you think is gonna like do you think someone's gonna like punish you, or like you're like gonna get embarrassed by someone or something for like not knowing what to say?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I just feel like everyone else in this cult kind of has a more definitive spiritual thing. Am I just a little bit more confused? Or maybe. I don't know. That's just how it feels.
So
and I feel like maybe that's putting me on the outside of the thing a little bit. Partially.
Well, I feel like part of it is you having like your own feelings about whatever the reality is, and kind of like distancing yourself in the end a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Because no one's ever come out and like ridiculed you or like said like you don't talk about like things the right way, like to be like no one's trying to like hurt you, which is like I feel like you're kind of armored to think someone's out to hurt you.
What is this live about?
This live is about...
I feel like I fucked up the live, y'all. I'm having a moment.
Well, you're going through a lot of feelings, it's true, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't know.
Better here than somewhere else.
Ooh, depends where. I was just talking about fortunes in the Bible, I think, before we went on this tangent specifically. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like had this phrase that I wanted to talk about a little.
Okay.
You're like a phrase, language, great.
Let's
bring me
on.
Back. So it's a quote that's actually a Latin quote. It's supposedly a Latin proverb that was used widely in military organizations around the world, which I thought was a nice little wink wink, because we're in the social military ourselves, so why not bring it all together?
This is a Latino proverb?
Yeah. Yep, for the Latinxes out there. No, it's a Latin proverb. Did I say it's Latino? Okay. Which the phrase is, or the proverb is, fortune favors the bold.
Yeah.
Or fortune favors the brave, but we all know that the bold one is the one we hear the most. And I guess audentes fortuna iuvat. It's the Latin. I'm mispronouncing that. But the Western world particularly used it to emphasize the rewards that come with courage and bravery, particularly within military organizations.
It's also like putting yourself out there, taking a risk.
Yeah.
That's how I've it's like if you take a risk, you know, you gotta roll the dice sometimes. Sometimes you gotta roll a hard 6.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know much about these games.
Battlestar Galactica. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta roll the hard 6, folks. No risk, what is it? Low risk, low reward. High risk, high reward.
No reward is what I've heard. But
yeah.
So, like, I think that this army would probably have a culture that, you know, agrees with this statement. Now, I think it would be different, like, maybe a physical military would say, oh, being brave and gaining good fortune from it is like going out and doing this unheard of operation that puts you kind of like out there, and like it's unexpected and daring.
We're not doing that at all.
We're not doing that at all. We're no munitions, social military.
No, but we are kind of doing that. It's just without
not physically.
Or we're supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, the reason I was saying it's like, I think this organization's culture would agree with this statement is because in the emotional, in the spiritual, perhaps even in the intellectual realm, although we're not so like gung-ho about like super bold ideas.
He would be actually in our cult if we were just
super into intellectual boldness.
Intellectual bravery.
No, it's a little more, the challenges are past intellectual bravery here. There's no real like new territory to gain. There's someone saying any crazy thing, any pushing the boundaries, new idea, there aren't really any new ones. So it's there's a lot of unexplored emotional and spiritual territory that is in need of plenty of bold moves, bold actions, and boldness that I think maybe the way that DLA would differ is our boldness might look different than what other people would say is bold. Some people might say bold is going out doing something like meeting someone off Craigslist that you've never met and like going to their house without anyone following you or knowing where you are. Something like I used to do. That is not the kind of bold emotional risk or spiritual risk that's not how we would go and get those emotional spiritual risks.
Did you get fortunes from those?
I did not get fortune from those experiences. I did get experience from those experiences, but one could argue I didn't really need the experiences that I got. And I could have learned things another safer, better way. But anyways, what are some things that you think would fall under like fortune favors the bold? Let's start positive, like something you've done here that's that way embodied how DLA would embody it, and what were the rewards that you got from it?
I think just like expressing anger in the right places has led to kind of like more financial laundry success, or just like being committed to doing things in your integrity, is I'm like working on that one, working to try and be bolder in my work, take more risks, like not rely so much on kind of the easy way out, and with the hope that fortune will favor that,
And you know what? I have an observation that's related to kind of your tiredness and drainedness today. And I'm not tired. I'm not drained too, but I think that it might be a bit of a hole that has been built over time, that your lies have compounded, your lack of like doing the bold move in the moment. It's been a long time of that compounding. Mm-hmm. So you're in the first few days of like digging yourself out of that.
Out of shape.
You're out of shape.
Flabby.
You're gonna be a little out of breath. You're gonna be a little drained easier. Whereas if you're like keeping this deficit more even keeled over time, you wouldn't be put in this situation,
Right.
And I think like
I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of guy.
it's very orthodox, as I was told by one of my feeders. An orthodox trait is to be kind of like that. You can't do it a little bit.
Nope.
And let's see if this works. Dramatic shifts. But so DLA, it favors this kind of the bravery that comes with integrity, the bravery that comes with telling the full truth, doing the thing that's scary, that shows your face, shows who you are, shows vulnerability. I mean, let me give some examples of my own, right?
Please.
So I have all my real triggers and issues around personal relationships rather than business relationships. I have romantic and love quadrant issues. And I feel like all the times that I have taken the risk with the conversation, expressed something I was afraid to express to somebody I was afraid to express it to, or just like connected to my heart and like vulnerability when leaning into like interacting with another person, I have received much higher quality connection, relief in myself, my life going better in whatever way that is. And I think that like my own hole that I dig of like avoiding all of those things I just said puts me in a big deficit too, where like I can get super closed off, super like resentful, super just like all these emotions that when they compound and grow without being expressed can have like physical expressions in my life. Like it can get dangerous, you know? Alarms can go off, you know, I can cut my hand on a knife because I'm like thinking in my head about some shit.
Does that happen?
I like just said that as an example because it's like an easy example of how like emotions can express in the physical danger zone, you know? Yeah. But I don't think that's super like it's not my thing, yeah. But it's just like an example. I'm trying to think of one that's like my thing.
No, my thing is like cutting off my fingertip because I'm like trying to grate cheese to make nachos. Like
you're trying to do something crazy and
like
fun.
Grating it super,
you're like, we need some fun because I don't want to get business serious over here in my life that I'm avoiding, so I can be like nacho time in private with my lady.
It's like when Beavis and Butthead figure out that they have Apple Pay on their phones, so they think it's unlimited money, so they just go and Apple Pay everyone for fucking nachos.
Excuse me.
Everywhere.
Calm down, sir. You're having a little too much fun yourself right now.
I just thought that was relevant to the bad boy.
We're
like, oh, Apple Pay works, so I'll just get us unlimited nachos for life.
Yeah. Man.
Still laughing about it. It's still funny to me.
Yeah. Chrome Dome alert. So, what was I saying about that? That was...
Your dome is more like a silver dome.
Chrome is silver.
Is it?
Yeah. I think so.
Titanium dome.
Okay.
Well, yes, chrome is silver. It's more reflectant.
Okay, sir. So those were ways that we have...
Silver.
Can you chill? You're distracting now.
I'm done.
Bold moves that are appropriate within the DLA culture that we've experienced and our rewards from those fortune favors the bold experiences.
I can think of some bold moves that are not.
That have not served you well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like bold is contextual. You have to like would be within the right context of what bold means.
Sorry
so,
about the yawn. What are easy ways out that we're being tempted with and indulging in that are impeding a change of our fortunes for the better right now?
Okay, good question, bro. Good question.
Thank God.
Anytime that I try to control in areas that I should not be trying to exercise control in, especially having to do with like other people, the timelines they should be on, in my opinion, when I'm trying to control them, or like controlling orders I've been given by like changing them to be like, I can exercise some control over this order because I resent having to take orders because I'm controlling as AF. The things that happen like around time and it's like a lot of the controlling with time is trying to rush time or think I don't have enough. And when I when I indulge in those fears and like acting in those fears, I always just end up wasting time. I throw it away by like having things take way longer than they should have, or fucking up, excuse my French, the thing that I could have done better if I hadn't been rushing about it. every time I'm tempted to be a victim, I have a life that's more victimizing.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Please do, yeah.
It's funny how you just skipped food, which is the first thing that you wrote down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Control, not only in time and with changing orders, with food.
The biggest of all.
The biggest of all. It's a little embarrassing that that's my biggest thing. Like, you think I'd have to be obese to have this big of a problem with food.
Fat camp. Did you go to fat camp as a kid?
Do you think I went to fat camp as a kid?
No, I don't.
I've never been fat.
Skinny camp?
I didn't go to skinny camp either.
Is skinny camp a thing?
Should be. All the white women should go there.
They can't
White
eat
birds.
sugar and they just have to eat like meat,
Fat and
animal
meat.
protein
Yeah.
and fat.
They have to milk cows at night together and talk about their...
Sounds very sapphic.
Exactly, talk about their hidden repressed lesbian desires. Hating men together. So yeah, food control and, the biggest thing that I learned from being with you, which is my anger that I had never expressed.
I bring it out of her. I bring it right out.
And indulging in, and I'm not going to say it's not sometimes a good thing to indulge in anger with you, but
I'm a bad guy. I must be stopped.
The like super unsober like ways that are just crazy, like that's no good. And no one needs to be doing that, including me. So that's my whole thing. I guess I'm tying this back to fortunes by saying that these are all things that I can explicitly see my fortunes reverse as soon as I engage in these activities. My creator has a pretty swift mathematical equation of you put these things in that are out of order, you get an out of order life. And for each person, those things are different. But, looking at the results, you can start to realize. I mean, maybe you'd have to be in a cult and get as much personal attention as we have to figure these things out.
Nah.
Maybe you're super
We're going to scale
awesome.
it. We're going to package it. All you need it's going to be, a wash of $96 a day and you
An
get
app.
it all.
And just downloads from the original cloud.
I hope so. I hope it's easier than having to join this cult one day.
Yeah, we've made it.
Maybe not. Maybe this is the only way.
I just heard like a weird noise like Siri. It was like, bing.
I think that was just air escaping my lips.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
What about you?
I think things that have kept me away from my fortune are taking the easy route, relying on charity, which is not actually the easy out because it's harder spiritually and emotionally
Sound like you said
in the long
farter.
term. It's harder spiritually and emotionally. It takes a higher toll on your soul. Toll on the soul was quite high. Victimhood. So just like thinking everyone's out to get me and that I am not entirely responsible for where I am in my life and that it's a conspiracy that others are trying to get me down. Lack of ambition to grow a cult. Like just the fact that, on any given day I'm not like really like thinking about other people coming here or like how I would grow this and not feeling ambitious to grow it and like not having found that seed to like grow the thing. Just being sad or tired like I am kind of now, impeding the fortune of this life. And like simping to men, like thinking not being assertive where I need to be assertive and kind of playing the little brother role to men and just kind of being like, well, you sound really smart and you know what you're talking about. My problem, which is I think is the opposite of her problem, is like my problem is I think I'm a piece of shit for joining a cult. Like I think everyone who doesn't join a cult is smarter and better than me, and I had to join a cult because I was just so stupid. While she thinks that she is better than all of you because she joined a cult. It makes an interesting pairing. Like,
Yeah,
I think
does.
everyone not in a cult is the best. Like, you guys are great doing it out there.
Well, everyone else is in cults. You just
Sure.
think that your cult is the worst and lamest and stupidest cult of them all.
And I just joined it because I have just really bad judgment.
All of Hosatan's cults are totally better, bro. So much better PR, so much more going on. You're like my
And
cult
you
to
are
live.
like that you won your like Miss Universe for joining.
I'm like,
your
ha ha
Miss
ha.
Daylife.
Every single person has chosen the wrong path,
But I've chosen, and that's all I need.
have the perfect path, and I am invincible, and you could never.
You're all just rodents. Everyone else, all just bugs under my heel.
All right, well, maybe that's a little hyperbolic, but I like people. I'm a fun-loving gal. I love people.
Wow.
I just want to get to know you, dear viewer, right now, who's watching this.
Hilarious.
Let's chat.
Hilarious.
But you know what?
Yes.
I do want to get to know people, okay?
Okay.
I put up airs and I kick people in the teeth because it's what I'm truly wanting most of all, yet terrified of having.
There we go.
Think of that?
We got to the heart
Do you
of the
ever
matter.
think of that, bro?
I haven't put much thought into it now.
Yeah. You're too busy
Having my
protecting
own
yourself from all of the people trying to kill you. That are coming for you, trying to bring you
trying to
down
tell
and
me
destroy
what to
you.
believe. What bold actions would you say we're avoiding, Emily? Mary?
Well,
Sergeant Major of the Army, Mary Martha.
yeah, excuse me. Trying to bring the private sphere out to these public
Sergeant
roles.
Mary Martha.
Sergeant Major of the Army, Mary Martha. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. We got it.
12
Figured it out.
syllables in that
Okay,
title.
we're gonna count syllables.
I counted them.
I am avoiding. What are we avoiding? Okay, so ATM is avoiding
Success.
We both love that avoidance of that. We do not want success. Who could be victims in a successful cult that's popping off? Who could, also, I think we're avoiding success because of what it would still turn us into at this point.
Douchebags.
I think we have to figure some shit out. But in terms of, what bold actions are we avoiding? I think that up until this strong, we were avoiding giving up certain things that were really difficult for us to give up. And I think we went a little crazy dramatic with it after, 3 years of wiffle-waffling and backsliding and never doing it.
6 years for me.
Yeah. So that's something right now that's a bold action we are no longer avoiding. It's causing a lot of adjustment and craziness and tiredness and drainedness and whatever. So that's we as an ATM. But
avoiding the heart of the matter, perhaps?
Yeah, we also do that together. That's totally our culture that we create in DLA, is very much not getting right down to the center of things and doing a little bit. We'll do a little bit. We'll be let's talk about this problem that Wiko told us to and pointed out for us and kind of spoon-fed us some of the things about it to get into. But then we're okay, that's enough. We did it once.
Everything's fine now.
We often want to get pushed into getting to the heart of things by our cult feeders, never by our own initiation, which is,
Gay.
For me, more personally, less of our group thing, I guess giving up control in the areas that I need to, and then having total faith and acting in my integrity in accordance to that faith, So not being actually, Yahuwah isn't going to have my back this time. I have to rush and put matters into my own hands and do something crazy.
Yahuwah doesn't necessarily have our backs, does he?
No. What's a better way of saying that?
That Yahuwah loves you, perhaps?
Yeah, Yahuwah loves me. I'm not gonna die and my life isn't gonna end. In fact, something very, very dramatic as that is nowhere near what's gonna happen that I fear. I might just have to have a conversation I don't want to have. It's basically the extent of it. Or look stupid in front of someone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Those are my problems. How big and how scary. Yeah. What?
I try not to look stupid, so I go off and make everyone think I'm evil, because it would take a serious genius to be as evil as I am.
Yeah, if they're not gonna they're gonna respect me for being evil.
Yeah.
That's the respect I need around here.
If you won't respect my slice of life, you'll respect me for being bad. Alright, so is that the end of our live?
You're always so ready to
I'm
end.
so
You're
ready.
like, all right, and that's wrap up before I like notice that you've even ended it. No, it's not the end exactly.
Well,
Let's not rush off right away this time. Oh, wow.
Come on. Do a
I'm
little
predictive programming.
You don't want to do a little Russian?
A little rush
Remember
off?
when we went live for like 12 hours and like we ended up going live for like 12 hours and like 30 minutes because you were like, we're not rushing off this live.
Yeah. I do remember that. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, we only have like 3 points to get to. We don't need to get to those points. We've done enough, right?
Yeah.
Pat on my back. Good job. I did a great job on this live. This was a tough live for me.
Right now you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You got a little triggered there in the beginning.
It was a little tough.
Yeah.
At least
Why
I
was
didn't
it
get
so tough
ODD.
for you? Why was it so tough
I used
for
to
you?
get more ODD vibes in these lives.
Yeah.
That was different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my bear now. It's making me pissed.
Why were you so having a tough time? Why? Care to go back to it? Care to bring yourself back without feeling like you're back there and getting triggered?
What? You really think I'm capable of that? Why was it tough? Because I am tired and we had to go into some topics that I don't feel like I have the authority or the knowledge or the understanding of even myself to go into.
Sounds like you got some thinking on your own to do. Some feeling on your own
Who
to
has
do,
time
perhaps.
to think, bro? There's only so much time in the day.
Uh-huh.
I have to fill those times with science fiction and fantasy novels.
Uh-huh. Well, here's an idea. Take out 10% of your science fiction and fantasy novel reading time and allot it to thinking and feeling of your issues that you're facing lately.
I think that's a very smart choice. That's probably in one of the business books that I've read.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've come a long way on the Reversal of Fortunes. We started out, like, this is kind of how I do things. Like, it's part of why things take so long to get to the heart of the matter. My controlling self is like, Reversal of Fortunes is going to be about the 4 parts that we were here in this army and when we had the reversal happen between us, when we both changed ranks. And from there, I think it's gotten a little less controlly. It's a little blossomed, a little bloomed, maybe, perhaps, into
Don't worry.
more.
Am I not like planning for the next episode? Am I not gonna come up with a plan?
You sure are.
It's gonna be Battle Royale.
Get ready, folks. Next
Royale.
episode,
There's gonna be
for
a
the first
poll.
time, he's giving us the outline
who's
that we're
better?
working from.
Who's better, her or me? Who's
Wait, what is your poll right now? Just like who's better in general? That's the poll.
Who's better, guys?
Put it down. Put it down there.
One time, in one of the cults that I was in an animal collective cult. I created a thread between me and my best friend at the time, who was both on this animal collective thread, and I made a thread where people could vote who they liked more, him or me. And it got kind of contentious there for a second.
Really? Why would that
And I
happen?
thought it was just funny. I thought it was like, oh, this is just going to be fun. We're just going to see what's happening. And I think I hurt the guy's feelings. Even though everyone kind of rallied together to make sure that we had an even 50-50 score, because I think everyone was trying to protect us from each other.
Your
They're
stupidity.
Like, we don't want Idan to ruin the friendship.
Wait, was this your musical duo, dude?
That's correct,
Got
indeed.
It. Yeah.
He was a little sensitive, and I was a little bit insensitive.
Yeah.
But everyone rallied together to save our friendship. By I don't know.
Are we gonna rally together to save our relationship, or is someone else gonna come in?
The cult is gonna Isn't that how it's been so thus far? The cult is like
the cult
intervened.
comes in and saves our relationship, and then we say, "You guys are evil and want to break us up."
Exactly.
That's kind of the vibe. That's the pattern here.
Yeah, and now we know it's because of that thread back in Collected Animals that was the genesis of all of this. Cult patterns keep repeating unless you take command of your life and stop the patterns. Stop the negative patterns.
Wow.
Understand where you are in the cycle and adjust accordingly.
So yeah, that's us not rushing off right away. Anything you want to ask me after this live? Anything you have left?
After this live? I have a couple questions once we're done.
After what has already been said now.
Wednesday. So stupid.
You are not tired. You have an infinite amount of energy to be a little fuck shit. So like I have no belief in you actually being tired. If you were tired, you wouldn't be able to do all these little squirrely things you end up being able to do all hours of every day.
I should really take things more seriously. I'm sorry for bringing the jokes out.
Yeah, you should be so sorry.
You know that squirrels lose 74% of the nuts.
I don't need to hear about the stupid squirrels and their nuts thing, okay?
Hey, you don't care about
I asked you a
mammals.
question. We're gonna not fall
Full
apart at the end of
birds.
this. Excuse me.
Birds don't care about mammal issues.
We're gonna not fall apart at the end of this live. You're not gonna go full chucklehead mode. You're gonna. What did I ask you?
Any questions for you?
Yes. Any questions about what? Not about like nuts.
About the live. That or about stuff we talked about
Yes.
on the live.
Yeah.
How do you think this live went?
I think this live went okay. If I were to give it between a 0 to 120%, I'm gonna say I think it went probably at about a 60%.
Fuck, that's bad.
60 to 70.
That's an F.
60 to 70%.
That's an F.
You know what? 70%.
70% is still an F. That's still 59%.
Yeah.
We.
I'm a harsh grader, okay?
I guess so. We got an F. Sign off in the chat if you think that we got a higher grade
So
than
there's
an F.
two things you can respond to now. You can say who's a better person? What was that? Just like who's better?
Who's better?
Who's better? And
what's our grade?
Our
numeric
grade on this
It has to be in
episode.
the public school system of A plus to F.
No,
You're-
it can be 0 to 120%.
Okay, sorry, I'm brainwashed. I like the.
So it's within Pleasure Matrix numerical system.
Though 120% doesn't make sense because it's per cent, which means per 100.
Okay, per 12 and.
120. What's our rating between 0 and 120 per 12
Per 12 and. That's right. Let us know. That's everything.
Okay.
That's all, folks.
Thank you.
See you next episode.
Take care.